bandwidth and you're paying a lot of money to your mobile provider. So it doesn't load up all the pictures, it just gives you the text.
Yep.
All right, now I'm looking at it. It just says it's got the little bird. It says home, explore, notifications, message, bookmarks, list, profile, more. Is it in profile?
Well, if it says more, I'd go to paying a lot of money to your mobile provider.
Of course.
It doesn't load up all the pictures, it just gives you the text.
Ads, analytics. I'm looking at it. It just says it's got the little settings and privacy, explore, notifications, message, bookmarks, list, profile, more. Is it in profile? All right.
Well, if it says more, I'd go to paying a lot of money to your mobile provider.
Of course.
All the pictures, it just gives you the text.
I'm looking at it. It just says it's got the little settings and privacy, explore, notifications, message, bookmarks, list, profile, more.
Everybody stop talking. Stop for a second.
Well, if it says more, I'd go to paying a lot of money to your mobile provider.
Of course.
All the pictures.
Okay, let's try that again. I'm like, what the hell was that?
Location.
Shit, hold on, let me turn it on. So we should be good now. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell was that? I'm here like 14 people at a time. Like, what the hell? All right, so everybody in the chat, is there an echo? Let me make sure. Let me go back here. Is everything fixed?
And you're live yet, man. Your people are waiting.
Yeah, we're
man.
live. Trust me, we're live.
Are you?
Yeah, we're live.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, technical difficulties
That was
at the
a
moment.
huge technical difficulty.
Yeah.
All right, so hold on, we're live. Let me make sure. Go to YouTube.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a delay, I think, with the live stream. So people are still complaining about the sound, but don't worry, people. The sound has been fixed. Just give it like a couple of extra few more seconds, and we will begin.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that was about.
As a matter of fact, chat, hit a 1 if you can hear us loud and clear.
Should be out here loud and clear.
Joining us tonight, we have Tom Cruise.
All right. Can we be heard? Let's go to the show. Hold on, go to my channel.
Yeah, I can hear us. I can hear us.
It's all good, man. Well, listen, we're wasting time here, man. I want to be playing Marvel. Oh, I'm Alliance free. Not here going through technical difficulties.
Yeah, it's fixed.
We're good?
We got
okay.
people in the chat
all
saying
right.
it's fixed.
All right. Thank you. Sorry about that. I had two open sources open. That's why the hell you guys heard like that crazy mic. That's definitely a blooper moment right there. Hit that like button. Go ahead. That's for that blooper moment. Like, what the hell?
Bloop, bloop.
It sounded like we were in a damn tunnel. Anyway, we here. What's going on? How y'all doing? This is episode 69, RGT Podcast. I'm here with the crew. We do have a special guest, Porter Rock 77. He will be jumping in a few minutes, so stay tuned for that. But until then, let's just go ahead and have some fun. First of all, how y'all doing to everybody in the chat? Let me go ahead and shout out a few people and say what's up. Hit that like button and go ahead and share it around for us. Thank you. Let's go ahead and say what's up to everybody in the chat. What's up, Fret Boy? What's up? I already said what's up, Blue. What's going on to Wraith? What's up? Dakus, what's going on? Who else? Jacob. Who else we got in here? We
Nathaniel
got
Williams.
Nathaniel, what's going on? We got G Hole, what's going on? What else? How y'all doing? Obviously, what's up? What's up,
The
Dawn?
Cool 79, Ice Queen Gaming. Everybody, welcome and try to enjoy this wonderful laid back Friday.
Yeah, it's definitely a laid back Friday. Definitely a lot to take into account too. It's like I was shocked by a lot of the stuff that's happened as of late. Some of the news. Now, me and Craig, ironically, shout out to Craig, we had a fun stream yesterday when I returned about a few things, but it looks like the situation has gotten a little worse in that regard, but they also got some good news at the same time for today. So I guess I'll start with the good news. For Gears of War 5, and I saw Foxy tweet about this, Gears of War 5's actually got some a lot of content coming with the game. They did confirm that. However, the problem still kind of persists with Gears of War 5. We have not seen the gameplay. We're still waiting on the first, like the single player version of the gameplay. It has not been shown in this time. And that's kind of really bugging a lot of us, a lot of us gamers. So, what you guys think, especially with the beta that's out? What y'all think going on?
Well, can I go first?
Go right ahead.
Well, look, here's the rule. Usually, if the multiplayer side of it looks good, then the single player side is going to look even better because it takes a lot more. The graphics get downgraded to accommodate the players in the multiplayer side of all video games. If you notice, the multiplayer is always downgraded somewhere. So I'm not worried about the campaign mode because I've seen the multiplayer. It looks beautiful. I like the direction. The levels are wider now. They're not so corridor-fied. You know, Gears has historically been about running through corridors, and then you enter this type of arena hall space. You fight there, and then you go down more corridors, and then you end up in a large space. Well, this is going to be less corridor, more large spaces, a long, meaty campaign. Everything that Microsoft should be doing.
You believe they're doing right?
Well, no. Well, look, I'm not going to say Microsoft are back. This is one. We're talking about one game here.
Of course.
I'm saying though, if they continue with this Gears 5 trend, like, you know, wider spaces, more consideration to the campaign, then they're onto a winner with future games because this is what Microsoft need to be doing. This is what Sony's been doing all along. So Microsoft need to be focusing on that campaign side. They've nailed multiplayer. It's nailed for them. They've had enough time dealing with multiplayer in terms of Xbox games. I mean, they had Xbox Live for how many years? So I don't like the way they kind of slipped back on the whole single player,
right?
You know, over the last few years. So this is good news. I'm looking forward to this. Everyone should be happy about this. If you don't like Gears, then you shouldn't even be part of the conversation. You shouldn't even be talking. If you don't like the series, don't speak. No one wants to hear from you.
Okay. So, do you think there's anything we should be worried about for the single player? Because again, like I said, they've held back a lot, but they did make a comment saying that there's a lot of single player content for us. It's a lot bigger world. Do you think they probably are skipping out, or maybe they're doing a smart move by not showing it?
Because it's all hypothesis, isn't it? We can't say, you know, what if a volcano erupts tomorrow and Fiji disappears off the planet? Like, let's criticize it if it's bad. We can't imagine what if it's bad. You know, there's no evidence to suggest the campaign mode there's a problem. They haven't shown it. That's all. That doesn't mean there's a problem. I say let's wait until we see it. Wait until we see it, then judge it upon what you see. Let's not do this speculation about, do you think there's a problem, or I mean, as gamers, we shouldn't be looking for that. You know, we shouldn't be preempting problems. Like, let them come and we deal with them when they come. But let's not think so far ahead and think there's a problem. Because I hear it with every game. Ghost of Tsushima, we haven't seen any more footage in a while. There's a problem. You know, what's the other one? Death Stranding.
Maybe Man of Medan at this point.
You know, they're not talking about release dates. There must be a problem. There's always a problem because the real problem is people are impatient. That's the problem.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Who would like to go next? Craig?
I will. Yeah. Just I don't know why this is such a big deal. It's going to be fine. I've played and enjoyed all the Gears of War. Even Gears Judgment. I know that puts me in a minority because people hated Gears Judgment. I enjoyed it. I just liked the game, and so I'm looking forward to it. People have asked me if I'm going to do the tech demo, and the answer is no. I'm getting the game. You know, I've always gotten the game, so there's no reason for me to think this is going to be horrible or have a horrible single player. It's Gears. So
are you gonna buy it though? Are you gonna do a Game Pass trial for a pound?
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. Well, yeah, I've got it. I've got the PC Game Pass. So it's as long as I have that, I'll get it. If I had an Xbox, I would have bought it. I'd be if they did a midnight launch for it, I'd go up there.
I only buy games that are great. So if Gears 5 is great, then I will hand over money for a physical copy. But if it's not great, then I'll play it on Game Pass. That's how I'm going to judge Microsoft from now on. If they release excellent games, I will own those excellent games.
Yeah, I'll buy them. But no, they've I would have bought it if I wasn't playing on PC. So, but yeah, I'm fine with it. It's I know why people are saying it. It's payback. The whole smoking thing was payback for Puddlegate. It's all that was. And but yeah, it's Gears. I certainly hope it does well. And I'm getting it, and I'm not going to worry about Metacritic and all these, whatever whoever else is scoring it. I'll be my own critic.
Okay. Carlos.
Well, for the most part, what we can say is let's just wait. Let's see. Let's give them the benefit of a doubt.
Exactly.
That's the only thing we can emphasize when it comes to this situation. As far as the multiplayer aspect of it, not so hot looking right now. There's been a lot of complaints about server time issues. Yeah,
I saw that.
So,
what about aesthetically though?
Aesthetically,
what does it look? Does it appeal to you visually in multiplayer?
I've never been that much of a multiplayer kind of.
No, not the gameplay. I'm talking about visually.
Does it like the visual representation? Yeah, he's talking about the
presentation. I mean, it looks okay. It's not that bad looking.
Okay, so you can expect it to look twice as good then.
I expect it to look better than the last one. That's
what I'm saying is the multiplayer games are always downgraded because they have to accommodate other things like
the performance.
So if you look at a campaign mode and then look at the multiplayer mode, the graphics always look better in the campaign mode because it doesn't have to worry about servers and all that nonsense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, as long as the player experience is actually, transitions fluidly for everyone, and they feel that they have a good game in their hands, then it shouldn't really be that much of a bad thing. You understand? Like, people have to just take it as is. You're gonna get a mixed bag of things when you go onto a multiplayer online based server. You're always gonna run into performance issues. You're always gonna see a little bit of degradation with the graphics. It always happens with all online multiplayer games. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if there's a little bit, just slightly small hints of, a little bit of stutter or anything else going on in the multiplayer, because once again, you have a ton load of people playing on the same server at the same time. So you're going to run into issues. You're going to run into input issues. There's going to be a lot of things, but overall,
go ahead. I'm sorry, my bad. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. Go ahead, Craig.
I was just gonna say real quick. They're more than likely. Don't be shocked if tomorrow they extend the they extend it. So they extend the time, because I personally think that it was a good weekend to do it with Comic-Con going on, and maybe give people an extra day or two. But I think they should extend the beta. I've seen people, unfortunately, and this is not a bash. Some people are unfortunately having to wait for 2-3 hours to get into the beta. So hopefully they will extend it. So
they need to fix that server issue, because that's the reason why people play Gears.
So people got kicked.
I was about to say, these things do not affect me because I don't care about multiplayer.
Yeah.
I only care about the Gears story, characters, and campaign mode. Whatever's going on with multiplayer, that will not affect me. I will not have to rely on the server.
Facts.
Yeah, for me it's the same as well. Like, I'm not really too heavy into the online multiplayer aspect of Gears. I'm more into the lore and the story and the characters themselves. I often do play the multiplayer, but that's like once in the blue moon, because
I've never played Gears multiplayer.
Never thought
to try it. Never had the impulse to try it. Never cared to try it.
Wow.
Don't want to try it. Never gonna try it. I'm gonna die.
It's actually fun. It's actually fun online. Like, I can't.
It probably is, but I'm just not. I just don't care about multiplayer.
Oh, the interaction with people, yes.
No, it's not the people. I just don't care about multiplayer. Full stop. I don't care about multiplayer. I am accepting who I am. I tried during the PS3's era when it was free. Yeah, I dabbled in it a lot. I dabbled in like the early days, Resistance, all those games I played. I was always on MotorStorm with a whole bunch of people, regulars, the same people, day in, day out. It was fun then. But then after a while, you realize, one, you're starting to have to pay for this. Two, my time is limited. I don't have time like I used to make plans with my clan and say, hey, let's meet up on a Wednesday and spend 3 hours in this game and have a great time. I just don't have that luxury anymore. When I was younger, I did. Yeah, back in 2008, 2009, I might have had that time. But the only time I got now is to finish a story and move on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I got you.
which is understandable.
Yeah.
Anybody
So,
else got anything else to go?
So I think Gears is fine. I think there were a lot of people worried for nothing. I mean, that is a tentpole franchise. I will say this: I did hear another major, no names, another major YouTuber make a legitimate point that them saying that it used to be a tentpole franchise. It was a system. It sold systems. It no longer is that. So it has taken a step back, but doesn't mean it won't be a good quality game. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't care that there's a woman in it. I mean, I don't. I'm just waiting to play the game.
Yeah, that's all I'm waiting for. Because that last part 4 with that little cliffhanger at the end, where you get to see certain things and aspects of the characters themselves, that really put me into the sense like I got to play part 5. Part 5, the storyline. If it goes in conjunction with the timeline with part 4, then let's go for it. I really want to find out about Kate's background. I really want to know, what happened with her as she went along.
Gears 4 was. I enjoyed Gears 4. I played it and completed it.
Yeah. It was a good game.
I thought it was lazy though. It was a lazy
version
of Gears. You know why? Because that was the first time, Coalition got their hands on. That was their first game, right? They took over.
Yeah.
Right. They took over. Right. They took over from Epic. Remember when Epic had it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So it was their first time, their first opportunity to make a mark and differentiate themselves from the last development team, but they just followed the same blueprint. So I'm pleased that this game mixes things up a bit, because I did enjoy Gears. In fact, I've enjoyed all of the Gears games. Even the Judgment one, I still enjoyed it. It was
I enjoyed Judgment too.
It wasn't as good, but I still enjoyed it. But the point is, after a while, after you've played Gears 1 to 3 and Judgment, then you play 4, it's all very samey. Like, I wanted them to change a lot, like they changed God of War. You see how they changed God of War? Imagine we kept getting the same God of War. The same camera angle, the same style, the same everything. Like, it has to change in order to be fresh again. That was my only problem with Gears 4. It felt, technically, it was excellent. The lighting effects, the physics, that level where everything's in a storm, just blowing at you, all those pipes, wonderful. And and those things inside those like jelly cocoons that explode. Yeah, graphically and technically, it's amazing. I just felt it was a little lazy on the creative side, just a little bit lazy. They played it too safe.
Yeah, they played it safe. It was their first time with it. It's like putting a quarterback into a game and just telling them.
You gotta take a chance sometimes. You gotta reignite the franchise. You gotta re-establish. Like, as a new studio, you kind of got to put your mark on something. Like, you got people who do cover, they cover other people's records here. But if you're going to sing it exactly the same, then what's the point?
Well,
do something with it. Put your own stink on it.
Well, I think that's what they're doing with their female protagonists. This is their total reimagining of the game. So
that's not enough. That won't. If all they've done is made the emphasis of the story on a different gender, that's not going to change anything.
Well, again, that's why
they've done more than that. I hope they've done more than just have the gender change.
Well, right. I mean, that's what we have to wait and see. That's what we do have to wait and see.
I mean, Marcus and Alex, they're both older now. Everybody else's, their mentality has changed. So from what I got from that trailer from last year, is that there's a lot of things that we're going to learn individually from each character, and what drives them to keep on fighting. That's the most important part of Gears, because Gears is all about fighting and pushing forward. It's not about just the multiplayer aspect.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, people seem to be excited about it, and that's at least the main thing.
An easy thing they could have done to make it different. A very simple thing they could have done to give it their own mark. They could have made the characters look less chunky, because back in the 360 era and PS3 era, like, I don't know if it was because of the limitations of the hardware, but everyone seemed to go with this chunky look in characters. Like, they were always exaggerated and chunky. They weren't very super detailed. They were just big.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe that was like less polygons to work with. I don't know.
Okay,
But now you can change they don't have to be so chunkified. Like I feel like they're just they look too chunky for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was all right with Gears 1 to 3, but now, you know, it's like, you notice how they changed Halo. Like the early Halo games, if you look at the suit and the character design, like the original Halo, like he was very, very chunky. But when we got to 4 and 5, they kind of slimmed him down and gave him more detail.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that? Do you notice that?
I remember that.
Yeah, they got better.
That's something easy they could have done, you know, just to say. I just felt like it could have easily have been, you know, a Rod Ferguson and Cliffy B game, Gears 4. It didn't. Even Cliffy B said it. Like, you guys took the safe route. It feels like my games.
They were safe. I mean, they just wanted to get it out and not ruin it. I thought they did that. But yeah, we'll have to Gears 5. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out. And but it's coming. A few more weeks. It'll be here. So
okay.
What's the release date?
It comes out. When does that game come out? Not September, right? Doesn't come out in September.
I think it is a September release.
Is it September release?
Yeah, it's a September.
Okay,
release.
so it comes out with it. All right, cool.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't clash with. I hope it doesn't clash with my Wolfenstein game because I'm buying Wolfenstein.
Oh yeah, I'll buy Wolfenstein.
September 10.
I'll buy that.
So I forgot all about Wolfenstein. I didn't even get into that franchise.
No disrespect, but I'll choose Wolfenstein over Gears any day of the week. I love Wolfenstein.
I will too.
It's comedy. It's pure comedy.
So
even the music, you know the records you find in the game, like they're all in German. They're all 80s hit songs, like 60s songs or something, and they're all sung in German. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well,
that really is.
Before we get into this other portion of this Xbox, I gotta ask y'all, like, y'all said Wolfenstein is real good. I never got into it, so how good is Wolfenstein?
Oh, it's excellent.
It's about
you gotta play the first one.
It's about the Roswell.
So should I pick that up? Should I look at the franchise as a whole? Should I get the collection?
Yeah, I mean, it's about the Roswell.
You don't necessarily have to play the first one. You can play Judgment and watch. You can play Judgment and watch the. You can get the story quick for the first one because I'm not being funny here. Yeah. The first one's good, but I don't. I mean, this is my personal choice here. Other people may have their own view, okay? But I feel like Colossus is better than the New Order. Okay. Way better than. I feel like the characters are better, especially Grace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know Grace, the black woman.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's from Mad TV. Do you remember Mad TV, the series that used to come on back in the day? Mad TV.
Yeah.
It was like in living color, like way back in the day, like a comedy sketch show in America. Of course, you should know it because it's your country. But Mad TV, right? She was in Mad TV, and she's played that crackhead in Grand Theft Auto 5 on the corner. Yeah. She's saying that you had to pick up cars for her. Do you remember, like in the pickup truck?
Yeah.
JB
was in prison. Yeah, JB.
That's the same actress. I think her name's Wilson. Something Wilson. Amanda Wilson or something her name is.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's funny as hell, man. She's always been funny for years.
Yeah, the premise, Ryan, is that a UFO, instead of crashing in Roswell, New Mexico, it crashed in Germany, and the Nazis reverse engineered it and won World War II. That's what the game's about.
That's what it's about. It's like supernatural. Like imagine, like there are these like conspiracy theories that the Nazis had some contact with aliens and was given technology. Like these are conspiracy things, but the game like kind of plays on that. So World War II was lost by Europe. I mean, by the West. Like the Germany won it actually, and it's like being under rule. Like America's being run by Germany. And there's so many sellout Americans in the game, quick to sell you out.
Oh,
like, it's like, I don't know if you remember V. There was a series that used to come on in the 80s, right?
Oh, yeah, terrible. Man.
Called V. And there were aliens that came down and took over the planet, and they made their own Earth citizens, like, grass on each other, snitch on each other. Like, it's just funny.
Okay. Appreciate it. Yeah, definitely looking into the game. So this is where we get into the bad part about the whole news, right? It's involving Xbox again. Obviously we got the good portion now, right? The whole Gears thing. Let's talk about the bad portion. So apparently their hardware revenue declined by 45%, and their console sales are down by 10%. Now, a lot of people are talking about this. A lot of people are really questioning the longevity, and really they're questioning whether or not should they even be caring about the Xbox right now. As you already know, our last stream, me and Craig pretty much did here on the channel. Dudes was literally breaking their Xboxes. There was the hashtag Smashbox thing that was going around. Dudes were legit breaking Xboxes. And I guess the question, right, especially with the next gen, is like, you know, does Microsoft even have the people's, like, I wouldn't say their best interest, but do they even have the support of the people going into next gen?
Yeah, I just think. Well, I mean, people are. It's almost like they finally woke up and they realized this is not a good situation. They're really worried about I think it's crested. I think that's the right word, because you got to remember they counted when they got the Red Ring of Death on the 360. When they gave you a new console, they counted that as a new sale. So they ended up at 89 or 91 million, whatever they figured on the 360. But you have to cut that almost in half. So right where they would have been is about 45 to 50 million, give or take. And that's roughly, they're at what, 39 to 45 million right now. So that's your base. You have now. It does seem like a lot of people are leaving the console. And maybe Gears will give them a shot in the arm that they'll be happy about. But I mean, I've heard some pretty heavy hitters, Xbox heavy hitters, that are just saying they're done with them. That this topic we'll talk about a little later on. That was just another kick in the balls to them. And this wrapping it up here. Their sales being down, it just means that you're crested, and the sales are going to slow down for everybody. But they're at their crest, which is roughly 39 to 45 million people, because you can't count 40 plus million Xboxes that broke, and then Microsoft, they repaired it for free, but that's because they were going to face a class action lawsuit from the Security and Exchange Commission. They were going to sue them for selling a faulty product. So Microsoft said, we'll fix it, we'll fix it for free, but we want to count the fixes as new sales. And that's exactly what they did. So it was a little shucking and jiving and wordplay on their part, give them credit. But it's over. I mean, it's a done deal. They're not talking about, you don't hear things like 4K anymore, and the beast is coming. And
you don't see
scared.
the PR, right?
I mean, there's people walking around that put xCloud in their name, on Twitter, so it's bad, man. It's gonna be bad. It is not over yet. What's about to really start happening is it's gonna piss a lot of people off. It's great for the gamers though, but it's gonna piss them the heck off if they're not mad already. But it was predicted by yours truly. So, give me some props.
Wait, hold on. Sorry. I don't know if I was daydreaming. Did I hear you correctly? Did you say people are putting xCloud in their Twitter handle?
Yes, sir.
People are putting xCloud in their Twitter handle.
Let me stop. You see those people that do that? They have sold their anal passage long before they sold their soul.
They were doing it. Though. He ain't lying. Just like dudes was putting what was the snake emojis?
xCloud in their name.
Yeah. Same people that told you the beast was coming. And
why would you do that?
Because the console it has failed. There's no other way to say this. The console is a failure. It got killed in the oven. Mama left the turkey in the oven too long, and they got murdered in the oven. Now they had to go somewhere else. But the console it's a technical achievement. Let me make that clear. But it's a commercial failure. So the Xbox.
It kind of reminds me. It kind of reminds me of the Jaguar 32X, the Atari 32X console.
Wow,
at the time when it came out, it was a technical feat. I mean, 32-bit processing power, real looking nice console. It was just like the public reception for that console was so horrible
Look, I question anyone who puts a console name in their Twitter handle.
Dudes did it for
Or any
the
console. It doesn't matter if
Anaconda.
it's PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox. Why are you? What? It's like worship.
They did it
It's
for the
like
Anaconda,
worship.
Foxy.
It's like why don't you put Jesus in your name? Why or I don't know. Any religion leader, whatever. Put their name in there, man.
You don't
Why
remember?
put
Wait,
plastic in it?
Foxy, you don't remember the what's the
You
name?
better off putting Santa Claus in your title. That's more real than that plastic you got underneath your TV.
I just said it's unfortunate, but here's the thing.
Put Krishna in your name. Krishna.
I mean, we told them this was going to happen. They were like, "Well, it's got 6 T-flops. Everybody's scared. We're haters." And it's like, okay, this is not going to go the way you think. Now, I flat said that on to a major YouTuber, and this is it's over. I mean, I really hope that they just stay quiet at this point, because I'm retired now. You know, I'm the king of Xbox. I'm really trying to get people to understand that it's over. You know, everybody should just come together and woosah, kumbaya.
Yeah.
You know, but
I know a song about that.
Oh yeah,
It's over. I'm sorry, now move over.
yeah.
I'm sorry, now
So,
it's over. The game shut
down.
But
Sorry.
But if you're
this is nothing new though, Foxy. I'm surprised you don't remember the dudes who put snakes in their emojis in their avatars with the
I do
Anaconda.
remember that shit too.
You remember that it was snake emojis, so it's nothing
The
new.
power of Anaconda.
Yeah, it was nothing new.
Yeah, the only reason why PlayStation outsold it was because it had 1080p. And it's like, okay, then how
It was not because of that, man.
I know, but now in real time, you had to switch out selling everybody, and it's not very powerful. It was the games. It's always been the games, and the moisture. I mean, they're out of sponges. I mean, Johnson & Johnson ran out of sponges. Y'all just got to
Oh my god!
So, but it is what it is. But
you got to do when people get on your nerves. You got to count to 10, Sesame Street style. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
13.
Yeah, I love it though. It's just a lot of people are. There's a lot of crow getting eaten right now. Like I said, I'm out of barbecue sauce. So
to all the people, since you're on Sesame Street, to the people who do that, their video will be sponsored by the letter L. There you go. Moving on.
Yeah,
it's juvenile though, isn't it? Look, you're putting a title of a console or a brand in your name. It's like you may as well just be branded with like one of them hot branded things. Like they should stamp you. You belong to them. You're part of the corp now. You belong to the corp. Omnicom. This is like RoboCop movie, man. You part of Omnicom or Omnicorp or whatever they call it.
You mean Omnicorp?
It's true though, man. It's like people are so quick to profess their love to things that are meaningless. I mean, it's only entertainment. Why do we play games? We play games because we've had a hard day, or we've had even a good day, but we've had a day and now we want to escape that day. So we play video games, but when you turn the machine off, you should also turn off your emotion for it. Like, I don't even know why you've got emotion. Like, I love games, and I respect most about gaming, the craft, man.
Yeah,
the craft. That a team expertly crafted this magnificence of entertainment that I'm enjoying. And then when I save my file and turn that sucker off, guess what? I might tweet and say, "Oh, I had a really good time on that game," but I don't go to bed like rubbing my testicles, thinking about the console all night.
Oh God!
It's true though. People are worshiping. I don't get it. Like, why don't you just treat it? No one treats their MP3 player like this. No one treats their DVD player like this. I don't even know people who go on like this about their car, and the car's worth exponentially more money than a games console. Like, people just take this thing too personal. It's like it's part of them. It's like it's their family. It's like it's kinship. It's like kinship. It's like kinship, man. It's like the night watch in They're all brothers, aren't they? Like the Night Watching in Game of Thrones. Like, man, I ain't seen a woman in years. Get out there, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my favorite thing about them, they said that
they ain't gonna do that anytime soon.
six T-flops, and you're scared and you're a hater. And my favorite one is because the Xbox X was more powerful than the Pro, Sony's first-party creators would bail on Sony and go over to Xbox.
Yeah, I remember that crap.
And they act like people don't remember that you sell. We remember everything.
We remember everything. We remember
There's receipts for everything.
If you catch me putting any logos in my name, like Pro or PS5 Pro, I want you to buy me a Remington, and I'll personally shoot myself.
Oh no, it ain't gonna go to that point. So
of course it won't, because I will never. It won't, because I'd have to be mentally ill to do that. Like I'd be mentally ill to brand worship these companies. It's like they must be their marketing people must get joke all day reading Twitter. Like, look at these idiots. Bad. Look at these idiots. Look at them. They're like a cult. They haven't even met their leader, and they're like a cult. They haven't even been introduced to their leader, Anton Levi. They haven't even met him yet, and they're already worshiping on their knees, bowing down to the pixel.
Nah, man. Sometimes you gotta take away stuff and just deal with reality.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what Thanos said. Reality usually isn't as good as
no.
Listen, games are great. I love games. Games are my favorite medium. If I had to choose music, movies, video games, well, I'll be crying, but I pick video games because I'm gonna miss the other two greatly. But listen, but it's not all of me though. Like, it's a portion of me. It's a fraction of me, a tiny fraction. There's so much more to you than just video games. Video games are great, but if that's all there is for you in this world, man, I feel sorry for you.
Yeah, very true. Let's move on to the actual other topics, the actual gaming topics. Let's have some fun with these. Ladies and gentlemen, hit that like button, and hope you enjoy the show. So, Spider-Man is now officially the highest-selling superhero game of all time, officially. Outselling the Arkham series.
I don't believe it.
I'm hearing an echo on somebody's mic, by the way. I don't know whose mic that is. Somebody has their like speakers on or something. Like, Greg, you have your monitor on?
I don't hear any problems. I don't know what's going on. It sounds all clear to me.
Oh man, I see somebody up in here by the name of Proto Rock. Good sir.
Proto Rock.
What's up?
Announce yourself, man.
Mr.
going
Porter,
on?
what's going on, brother? How you doing? Welcome.
I didn't want to come in and interrupt the conversation because y'all were killing it. So I was like, let it ride. Just let it ride out.
I don't believe Spider-Man did that because according to the community, you need to put your games on all platforms that have
that doesn't change the fact that the game has put itself on a staple where not many hero-based themed games have even sold well before. So this right here, it just shows you how well the game has done, how intuitive it has become for people to actually try to experience this game. Because even my son has been nagging me, Dad, I want to play Spider-Man. I want to play Spider-Man. And unfortunately,
that's a lie. That's that Pony does. That game that game on one platform did not outsell a game.
Hey guys, before we continue, is there echoes? People in the chat saying there's echo. I can't hear the echo.
I can't hear it.
Yeah, I can't hear it now. It was like a brief echo I heard earlier, but it's gone now.
Well, no, I just think that's Pony dust. I mean, there's no way a game that spanned 2 generations, the 360, PS3. Mm-hmm. Also, you add the PS4 and the Xbox One. And the PC. My understanding is that Batman is on PC. Yes, it's on Steam. It's part of the Steam library.
It's also on Mac.
Yeah, I didn't know it was on Mac.
And Wii U.
All right, so it's on 7
platforms.
Telling me that one game outsold that on 7
remasters. Don't forget, it's been remastered as well.
Yep.
So it's been out for almost 8 years. So that's like what, 8 holiday sales, multiple $10, $15 sales, Steam, Humble Bundles, PSN sales, like you name it. 8 years of
So
all
you're saying
types of
community
sales.
was wrong.
Yeah.
The bottom line is that the Xbox community was wrong. Is what you're saying.
Oh yeah.
Ironically, yeah, it's only had one sale since it's dropped. It's a crazy thing.
Well, you know what? It deserves it. Spider-Man is an exceptional game. Well, I mean, if any game deserves to do well, it should be that one.
Do y'all remember the marketing for that game alone, though? Like with the bus and the train and everything?
Yeah, it was
Oh, yeah,
insane.
that was crazy.
Yeah. Poor, we talked about this yesterday on the pod. Me and Craig did, but did you know that bus was in Homecoming?
That was the same bus they used.
Yeah, it was in Homecoming.
Oh wow, that's not bad.
So they really did push that game ridiculously well. It's incredible. It really is incredible. Obviously, everybody's excited for the sequel, so it's a lot to it.
I mean, I'm just waiting for that sequel, man. That's all I gotta say. That game to me, it really made me feel like I was playing with the actual Spider-Man character.
Yeah.
It wasn't not to just bullshit. You know, there are certain things that are repetitive in the game that you get tired of it, but the overall experience, the overall interaction with villains, each setting in the storyline, it makes you feel like you're inside Spider-Man's head, and that is the main purpose of that game. It gives you that feeling like, all right, I'm gonna throw these couple of flips here. I'm gonna paraglide over here to this spot. It gives you a pattern of thought. You think like the actual hero, and that's what's so good about the game.
Okay. They did a good job of grounding you as a character too with Spider-Man. Like you weren't overpowered with everybody, so that was good too.
Yeah,
it's more realistic. What was you about to say, Porok? Are you ready to say something?
So I would say, I mean, has anybody noticed how many people are damage controlling this success though?
Yeah.
Like I'm hearing some of the weirdest shit. Like for example, but the game's bundled. I'm like, what? I'm like, that's like number one. That's like the number one. Oh, it's bundled. I'm like, so was Batman bundled. So was Arkham City.
So was Forza Horizon. Horizon 3, 4.
But even if that was some type of reason, right? It's only been out for 10 months. So you're telling me 10 months of bundles would outclass 8 years of sales?
Yeah,
on 7 platforms.
Scary.
That's crazy.
Pluto Rock sounds like a male version of Cardi B. Is she from Puerto Rico as well?
She's from Dominican Republic. It's that New York thing.
It's similar, isn't it? It's similar. You got a twang, a similar twang in your vocab.
It's that New York accent.
The F out of here accent.
That was one. The next thing, is MPD only. And I'm like, it's not real wide, right? So I'm thinking, okay, that is a true statement. It is MPD only, but here's the problem: when they announced Arkham City's the number one selling superhero game, that was MPD also.
Correct.
Yep.
It wasn't like it was a consortium of worldwide conglomerate that made the announcement. It was MPD, but nobody said anything back then. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
When 360 was outselling the PlayStation 3, but only in North America, people were saying, but it doesn't matter.
America's only that matters because you live in America.
Doesn't count suddenly.
But the thing is, this is an apple to apples comparison because it was MPD that originally declared Arkham City was the number one selling. So it's not like we comparing two different systems. It's the same system. The system that declared Arkham City was the number one selling superhero game is the same system that said now it's Spider-Man. Nothing changed.
Kind of makes you wonder if we'll get another one.
I don't understand what's going on.
Even if it is only MPD, it's in America like the biggest video game market in the world.
Yes,
pretty much.
So that's a pointless argument to say it's just MPD.
And they're American, so they're saying that they don't matter.
It's an American franchise, an American IP, sold better in an American country, which happens to be the biggest region for video games.
Yeah.
So I don't understand the damage control.
I didn't realize it was that bad. I mean,
and then the final point. The very people that says, why y'all talking about sales are the same people that will throw in your face if a game sells bad. That's what I don't understand. You can't celebrate games, but then they get pissed off if you don't buy games. Like which the fuck is it? Like, what do you want us to do? Do you want us to support the game and be happy with the games, or don't talk about the sales of the games and what is it? Like, which is it now?
Well, I figured it out. It's they don't want a game that Sony has to not be on Xbox. They're not going to buy it. They are not going to buy it. Hellblade proves that. Nier Automata proves that. They just want to, No Man's Sky proves that. They do not want to, because if that happens, then they feel they are forced to go out and get something that they really don't want. And now that's why the whole exclusives are anti-consumer talk is constantly going to come up. And again, it's going to go away because Gears is coming out. They have something to play. But in March, they're going to start right back up with the Final Fantasy thing. They're already mad again because I guess something that calls itself Banjo-Kazooie allegedly is not coming to Xbox now. So it's we'll just have to wait and see. But it's just they don't want to have to go out and buy something else. So they said they can't afford it. So that's what they.
It's funny. It's funny. Porter Rock's here because Porter Rock's the one who gave me he pretty much posted that thread. That was going around with the Smashbox.
Oh yeah,
the little cult going around, and I was like, okay, there's no way this is really just happening. I'm like, wow, so they're really breaking their Xboxes for a chance to win a PS4.
I just think they were doing that was a lot of old. Did you see how old those Xboxes were?
And also, that's a lot of clout chasing.
There was some new ones though.
The ice cream licking bullshit.
Yeah,
girls throwing their vaginas at the camera. That's weird shit. That's all the thing.
It's a lot of weird shit on
Twitter. People are waking up and they're seeing, something's not right with Xbox. You know what I'm saying? They tried. They gave it as much as hopes and chances as they could, but I think they're finally realizing a lot of people. You see a lot of Xbox dudes like. Once they finally get a PlayStation, they got over that little, I don't like Sony. Once they finally got one and they play the games, they started realizing like, okay, wait a minute. All right. We seen what these guys are talking about. They play God of War and they're like, okay, now we get it. They play Spider-Man. They play Horizon Zero Dawn. They're getting it. They're like, and it's not so much like if you're an Xbox dude, no one's saying don't like Xbox.
Of course.
But if you're paying $500, right? And if a first-party publisher sells you a $500 console, right? Mm-hmm. You're expecting a little bit more than just the best version of Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're expecting that part. You're expecting that first party to give you something because you bought their product, you bought their console. You could, if it was all about Call of Duty, you could go to anybody else for Call of Duty. But you bought their console for a reason. Yep. And then when they come out and be like, hey, we'll sell you another $500 console. But it's more powerful. All right, cool, we get it. But what else?
It just turned into a lot of weird stuff this generation. Like, you remember how exclusive anti-consumer? Then they go, well, Spider-Man sucks. Then they went to tweeting Insomniac over and over. Hey, is this game coming to Xbox or whatever? It was like, no, it's not coming. Then they started saying they're the worst, and then I'm like, wow. So there was so much hate generated for Spider-Man.
They didn't understand that Sony owns the Spider-Man IP.
You know what? I never understood though. Why do we give a fuck about these irrelevant people? Who are these fucking people?
These people are people who infest our comment sessions everywhere.
You're talking about nobodies who are irrelevant.
What's funny? So while I agree with you, Foxy, the problem is poison spreads fast. You'll be surprised how like on Twitter, there's dudes warring, council warring, but because they see bad information, after a while it becomes the truth because that's all they see all the time. Yep. And I look at these guys like, what are you guys talking about? I know you mean. I provide them a link, and then they come back like, oh, I didn't know. I know
you mean about the poison, but if there's no oxygen in the room, they can't breathe. You remove the air out of the room, it means don't give them no attention, and they stop breathing.
Yeah,
they disappear like a pest has to have somebody acknowledge that they're a pest in order for their pestilence to work.
True. So he gonna bring up Puddlegate. Oh, please do not bring that up. Please don't remind me of that. Don't remind me of that.
For a game with no puddles, ambient occlusion, it did pretty good.
Goddamn right, man. I mean, that game did beyond expectations. They advertised the game. They did their part. Now it was up to the
it's funny when developers even make a joke about it when they had the little emoji water puddles on Twitter.
Oh man, they
were funny. Yo, Insomniac is hilarious. They're funny.
They won. But like I said, I knew
Go on, you go first.
No, go ahead, Foxy.
Okay, you know what makes me laugh though? All of the channels I've seen that have been cheerleading a certain brand since like 10 years ago, and suddenly they hate it now. It's like they're a PlayStation channel now, and now they're playing all these games that we played years ago. And they're making videos to tell us how great the games are that we've already played and known about.
So we already told you this was good.
You are trying to educate me. I've been there. One fool. You the Johnny come lately, not me. You just turned up to the party.
I ain't gonna lie to you, Porter Rock. I saw something that made me cringe, bro. My man said, I just now played The Order 1886. I ain't gonna lie, it's a great game. The Order 1886. I'm like, I could have sworn if I go back to your channel, there's a video where you slandering it, saying, "Oh, this game is trash because it's only XYZ long."
Well, that was trash.
So I'm like, really? If the game is good, it's good. If it's not good,
they've made a whole new revenue stream out of telling people I was wrong.
Yeah.
Hey, that's how the narrative goes, man. When you're wrong,
in the title, I was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong. Now they're getting this view, that view, this many subscribers, and people are falling for the garbage. You know what? We've been enjoying PlayStation games since 1994.
Mm-hmm.
I have somebody tell me in 2019 that if I care if you were wrong, I've been in the right lane all these years. I don't care if you've been in the wrong lane.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, they've I agree with the podcast. They're what I have seen is that there are 3 Xbox centric podcasts that are no longer podcasts. They're just like, oh well, people decided to kind of go. People got busy. All of a sudden, people got busy. It's like all at the same time, they all got busy. But I really think there were 3 blows. One was Horizon Zero Dawn. The other one was Spider-Man. And then the final was God of War winning Game of the Year. So when an exclusive game won Game of the Year, there really was. And then Phil Spencer come out and said, well, on that business channel, said, well, you don't need an Xbox to play the game. That was it. I mean, you're literally being told by the boss man not to go buy their product. So don't buy it. Why are you buying? And
I haven't got a problem with Xbox.
I don't either.
I got a problem with hypocrites.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the hypocrisy is thickening. Yeah, and here's another thing they don't know. So let me break this down. Now that you all are putting PlayStation people on your podcast, they're backdoor channeling everything. Mm-hmm. So we're learning all your little dirty secrets. But at the end of the day, I think it's funny as hell, listening to 90-minute podcasts and people, just going through it, and they're good podcasts. I mean, if somebody had told me this one podcaster, it wasn't an Xbox guy, I'm like, man, this dude's actually making a lot of sense there.
No, but here's the thing. Are they saying anything we haven't said the last 2, like Foxy said?
They're just confirming what we've already said.
We've been saying for the past 5 years.
I said this shit like 2 years ago. I'm a fanboy. They're saying that now it's a revelation. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? These dudes are crazy. Like, I've been saying this shit.
Hey, Pluto, it's like they just learned basic math. We've known for years 2 + 2 is 4. They've worked out that 2 + 2 is 4. Now they're running around saying, hey, 2 + 2 is 4. It's true. 2 + 2 is 4.
Oh, shit. I've been telling people don't drink Clorox because it's poisonous. Now they fucking realize it. I'm like, like, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, there's like nothing. The things that are they saying now about Xbox is not new. I said that shit. You said that shit. Many of us said that years ago because it was so fucking obvious. Like you're telling me now you see Sea of Thieves is not a big killer app. Like you couldn't see it. 4 years
I remember
ago?
the damage control for that though. They're like, oh, you guys just hating on innovation. We were all looking at each other like, what innovation? There's no content behind the game.
Innovation of a crack.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's your innovation. Yeah, you can have that.
Like when I even and people like talking to me about Sea of Thieves, whatever. I ask them, listen, think about just the premise of the game. Let's say you do all these missions, right? How do you get better? Because that's really the essence of video games. You develop your characters, whether it's Destiny or a single player game. Your character cannot be the same as you start out. Where's the growth? Oh, there is no growth. You just buy trinkets. Then what the fuck am I playing the game for?
You gotta find a black pig.
Like, how does the mission gets harder and all that stuff? It's like there's no change.
No, you just collect. You collect farm animals and treasure chests. That's the.
Let's just hope that with Scarlet, Microsoft get back on to making.
I hope so too, bro. I hope so.
Because all they need to do is make great games, and the rest falls into place.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're gonna have hardware-based ray tracing, even though AMD does not even have a video card out right now that does that. But somehow Xbox is going to create one for them. So, and that's fine. I mean, I love it. Give me that ray tracing all day. But no, you're right. I mean, there was the innovation. I think they said people went to work and left their Xboxes on playing Sea of Thieves, so it looked like they were playing Sea of Thieves.
No. Oh no. Let me get off of this one. This is going into the creepy territory. No.
Oh, it was funny though, man.
Let me just bring back one point for Porter Rock because he actually missed it. I don't know if you heard it, but you heard about their what was it? Their revenue was down 48%.
I heard it. I put that shit on Twitter. You know, listen, I said about a month ago or something like that with Game Pass. I'm like, with everybody now just playing their games through Game Pass for $10 a month, and some dude, like one dude, it was my boy. I mean, he's cool, but Xbox One, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said he got Game Pass Ultimate for the next 2 years, and all he had to do was just pay an extra $1 to upgrade it, right?
Right.
And I'm thinking, damn, you're gonna be playing all these games till 2022, and all you had to do was drop $1. And I'm
$1.
Thinking,
mm-hmm.
and if a lot of people do this, how the fuck are they gonna make money off of the big AAA?
And
I said, I don't think Microsoft, except for the stuff that's already in process right now, I don't think Microsoft is gonna push big AAA titles because I don't see Game Pass supporting the revenue for that. Everybody bash me. Everybody. You're just hating everything Microsoft does. Fanboy. I'm like, oh, here we go. Rinse, cycle, and repeat. The same words, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now Microsoft said, hey, not only are they down 48% in hardware revenue, but they're down 3% software and services. Yeah. So they lost money, despite Game Pass having 10 million people, whatever. And this, I'm like, so you guys expect big AAA titles while losing money? It doesn't make sense.
This is why the emphasis was on the AA studios. This is where they really came into play. They're not.
That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna pad. They're gonna pad the service with a lot of AA single A and indies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but let me just say one thing in the defense of AA. There have been some tremendous AA games. I mean, look at Hellblade.
That's what they want, though. They want to really patent it out because they're looking for the next Minecraft, in a sense, with these new AA studios. They're looking for that.
Fortnite. That's what
they're looking for those type of things.
I agree with Foxy saying my only concern is the games that are being made is specifically for Game Pass that people are going to pay for $10. You see what I'm saying? When Ninja 3 made Hellblade, they wanted to make a AA. They had a AA budget, but they wanted a game to look like a AAA quality game. They wanted the game to sell.
Yeah.
It wasn't simply going to be given away to people who only pay $10 a month or $1 to upgrade. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And if you notice, since Game Pass came out, we haven't been seeing big games, new games from this service. Sure, they're going to make Forza, Gears, and Halo because those are franchises that's already cemented in the Xbox ecosystem. Those games have to come out. They don't have a choice. But we haven't seen new big titles. They just been releasing derivative shit. Crackdown, State of Decay 2, fucking what you call it? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how much? It's not like Sony with Spider-Man. You saw what they did with Spider-Man. Big advertisement, whatever, because the game has to sell consoles. And it's not going to be given away for $1 either.
Even Nintendo has a great game that came out today with Spider-Man in it.
Wonderful. Marvel Alliance. Yeah.
Wonderful game.
And it's actually a good game, man.
I've been thinking about it since I came on this podcast. In fact, I was going to be selfish and say, you know what? I want to play this game, but I didn't want to let my boy Ryan down.
Well, appreciate you, bro. But
if Microsoft is dead set on making Game Pass, because that's what it feels like. It feels like Game Pass is the
be all. It's pretty much the be all,
point, right?
Yeah, it's the be all.
But that service is not going to blow up for like another 7 or 8 years. So what does Microsoft do in the meantime to sustain revenue service. While everybody's playing these games for $1 or $10, what's it do? I firmly believe next gen, at a certain point, you're going to see Microsoft put their games on PlayStation. They're going to do it. I firmly believe that with every inch of my fiber now. Yeah. I firmly believe they're not going to give a fuck. They're going to put it on PlayStation. They're going to put whatever games they can on Nintendo.
It would make sense.
They already said everything.
Halo. It was the Halo Master Chief Collection. So yeah.
They already said, hey, every game's going on Steam, and they're working with more clients. So you can see Origin, GOG, whatever the fuck is out there. They already put that out there.
Yeah.
Well, but I was told about the PlayStation thing that even though I predicted that months ago, I was told by the community that because they didn't do it, I was wrong. I said the fact that they talked about it and they literally sat down with Sony and said, "Yeah, we want to do this." That's fine for me. You're saying base, and I'm saying boss. You know, so
you know what's really going to be the cracking point? Because next year, what is it? Microsoft Dungeons come. I mean, Minecraft Dungeon comes out, right? Next year.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So picture Satya, right? Mm-hmm. So Minecraft Dungeons comes out, right? Brand new game, whatever, on all platforms, right? And they see the game selling more on PlayStation than their own console. And Satya's gonna see that. He's gonna be like, Jesus fucking Christ! Like, even our own game sells better on PlayStation. So why isn't Gears of War on there?
Yeah,
Phil already said console sales don't matter. So scratch that excuse off the table. Because he already said console sales don't matter. So it is
already outsold Xbox version on Twitch.
Yeah. So what? So Satya's gonna be like, why aren't we making games for PlayStation? Well, Phil already said console sales don't matter. So it ain't that. So then what is it?
Yeah.
Super Lucky's Tell. I guarantee you, it's gonna outsell the Xbox version.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's a given.
I think if you put Halo, Gears, and Forza on PlayStation, it's gonna outsell Xbox version. I think the majority of the people that buy games are on Nintendo and PlayStation and PC.
Yeah.
Well, this is what happens when you bite the hand that feeds you. Yeah. Microsoft have bitten their own hardcore gamers' fingers off.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't buy the games. I mean, people got to really remember that. Go back to their launch in 2013. I mean, even Kojima put a Metal Gear game on there, not that fake Metal Gear Rising. He put a real Metal Gear game on there.
Why didn't they buy the games?
I don't know. They didn't buy the game. I don't know.
The question is why. I tell you why. Because Microsoft really screwed up at launch.
Yeah, that's
all they were left with was the most hardcore of the hardcore buying, and that's not enough. That is not enough of an install base. 10 million people who you can count on is not enough.
No.
Yep.
I'm not saying all I had was 10 million people.
Yeah.
Or buying the console. I'm saying 10 million people who are diehards. That's probably all they had this whole generation. Everyone else has been a casual bought the system because it was cheap.
Yeah. Launching with a $500 console, that's not an easy feat. If you're gonna launch a $500 console, you have to bring big guns quick. They waited too long to push out Halo and Gears. For the first 2-3 years, it was Rise, Sunset Overdrive. While some people like Sunset Overdrive, I think is a decent game. I didn't like Rise personally, but no matter what, those two games are not the God of Wars. They're not the Spider-Mans. They're not the big guns. Yeah. So when people see those games, they be like, okay, they're exclusive, but the console's $500. Like, that's not a $500. Like, I'm not dying to play those games for $500.
Yeah, but what about this? You know what's worse? You know what's worse than what you just said?
What?
Think of the people who pre-ordered. I'm talking about that hardcore.
Yeah, those are the hardcore. Those are the guys
that pre-ordered the OG Xbox One for $500 plus games, plus the controller, so like $650 then, $650, and then just 3 years later, they spent another $500 on an Xbox One X. So and add another $100 on that for more games. So they've spent more than they would have on a really good PC.
Mm-hmm. You know what's funny? Some of those guys who were there at launch, they're not there no more. Because when they said they bought an Xbox for exclusives, they really believed in that. For some people, that wasn't just a narrative. They really said, hey, Xbox had exclusives, PlayStation didn't, I win it. But now they went to PlayStation because they kept that same energy. PlayStation has the exclusives, Xbox don't. I'm done with it. And they moved on, and that's what's happening.
Well, I mean, they actually had new IP at the beginning of the generation, even with Titanfall. That was on. That was. I mean, that was. It was also on PC, but it was on Xbox, and they had a big marketing campaign. It's just
but that was multiplayer only. They didn't even care to a campaign.
But it's a new bro shooter. So my point is that they had new IP into the first year, and people didn't buy it. And I agree with what you said, Fox. It's just the hardcore.
I don't think people didn't buy it. I don't believe that. I think there wasn't enough people to buy it.
Yeah.
Like just because you got 100. Look at Sony. They got about 100 million install base. Yeah.
Right.
But that doesn't mean you're gonna sell 50 million copies of a game because you got 100 million. You might only sell 1 million copies of a game. 99 million people didn't care about the game.
Yeah.
True. But I think Sati, when he saw those numbers, how they didn't buy the game, it's like that people are like, well, where are our sequels? Like, y'all didn't buy the games you had. Quantum Break, not even Quantum Break or anything like that. I know that was my fault. I got blamed for that, according to Halo Storm. Y'all didn't buy Quantum Break because of me.
But here's the thing I'm a fault with Microsoft, though. So I understand, gamers didn't buy the game or whatever, or maybe it wasn't something gamers wanted, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. But a first party publisher, if they say, hey, we're not going to make a Rise sequel because the first one didn't sell too well. Okay, cool. You don't want to make a Rise sequel. So then what's the alternate option? What's the new IP you're going to push then?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's where they screwed up. They didn't have one.
They didn't fill in the blanks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
They cancelled
You have to do something.
They cancelled Fable. They cancelled Scalebound, and they had no answer.
Yes. So if you don't want this game because development's bad or
you don't like the talent behind it or something.
So then what's the alternate? What's, like you said, why are you filling it in with? What's the alternate plan? Oh, we don't have one. Fuck, like backwards compatibility. What? Like
that was the plan. It was backwards compatibility.
Like, and that's where Microsoft fucked up. They didn't fill the gaps because at a certain point, new games was not a priority. They prioritized, I think, the easy money, which was controllers. They started pushing this Game Pass stuff. What else? And then new consoles, because you saw
new consoles.
They gave people Xbox One S, for 4K Blu-ray player and all that, and then the Xbox One X. So they went after easy money: controllers, custom controllers, Game Pass, backwards compatibility, and consoles.
You remember the meme they turned into? They basically became controller chaos.
I'm gonna say something that's really gonna be unpopular. I'm sorry. I apologize to anyone I offend, but I'm very true to myself.
Yeah.
You know what Game Pass does for me?
What's up?
It makes me feel like the games aren't worth nothing.
I mean, $1? Yeah, $1. Yeah.
I said that before the thing launched.
For a physical copy of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, I spent 50 UK pounds, which is about $60. $65 in the US, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel good about it because it's mine and I own it.
Yeah, and it's worth the value.
And it's a good game. And I can look at the cover over there. It's I got nice little selection of Switch games physical now to go with my PS4 games and my Xbox One games. But I look at it and I feel a sense of pride. Like, I paid for it, I'm enjoying it, and I own it. With Game Pass, I don't get any of that. I get, let me try it. I'll try something. Let me try it. It's like you're going to get a lot of people starting games and not finishing them.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's so many on there that you're not paying full price.
I did that on PC with Gears of War 4. Like, I booted it up and just didn't go back to it because it was other shit.
There's no compelling reason.
Yeah. Like,
Game Pass doesn't give you a reason to invest in any one title for too long. Like, I tried Exodus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Metro Exodus.
Uh-huh.
Now, I guarantee you, if I'd have bought that game, even if I half liked it, I would have made myself play it to the end because I spent money.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's on Game Pass, I think, fuck it. I played like an hour and I said, I won't go back to that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? I find no value. I don't know why. I don't have the same feeling for Netflix though. Like when I like stream a movie or download a movie, I don't know. I don't get that sense like it's not mine because it's just, to me, I only need to watch it once. But games are different. Like I'm physically invested in a game. I'm only mentally invested in a movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you don't do anything physical with a movie unless you're watching a different type of movie, if you know what I mean. You know, physically, I'm invested in video games, and mentally, and emotionally if the characters are deep.
Yeah, that is
So
true.
I feel like I find value in paying for something and owning it. I find value in that.
Well, yeah, just to me, they didn't buy the games. To me, it's a very simple thing. There's a really good friend of mine. He's a businessman, and he's like, man, look, people didn't buy Xbox's games. You know, I'm talking about the Xbox community time. They did not buy their own games. Even the games they had time exclusives on, the Tomb Raider game, they had a time exclusive on Elite Dangerous. They didn't go buy the games. They didn't support them.
Yeah.
So,
And that's one of the main reasons why this is the predicament that Phil has seen for years.
Yeah.
And you can't really blame Phil. I mean, I'm not siding with everything that's going on with the Xbox brand because, you know, at the end of the day, I'm a gamer and I want to see something, you know, come into fruition. But this is just pure stats and pure data written statements.
mm-hmm.
They have not had people buy any of their products. They're not making any, you know, more revenue than what they should with that. So what's the best thing that they can do? Well, you start making services. You start making things that'll start, you know, inflating something for them. And thus far, that's why they have provided Game Pass. That's why they're doing all these little things just to make sure that for the next gen, they're not in the same predicament that they are in now. In a sense, it doesn't make no sense to do it that way, but for them, in order to make sure that the developers have enough time to pump out these games that they, you know, purchased or acquired from these studios, that is the only way that they can go on forward to making games relevant to their platform again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you know what they have to do is replicate the first 3 years
A 360.
of Xbox 360.
And that would have been
They had
good.
one job. Microsoft had one job
Yes.
with the Xbox One. Just
Keep the
replicate
ball rolling, man.
3 years, and after that, you know, you could have took the piss, and people would have said, "Well, you know, I had a great 3 years. Let's just wait for the new hardware."
Right.
People
They
would have
lost their
that
way in
edge.
the end or something.
But because you came out the gate, you gave them. It's like they were trying to beat Sony to the punch with all these racers and shooters, and then it's like Microsoft. It's like Sony played the long distance game, and Microsoft did the sprint. And Microsoft got tired after the 100 meters, and Sony just kept running.
Yeah.
Didn't Peter Moore say something to the effect of you should not be trying to go toe to toe with Sony? You want to either get ahead of them or let them go for it. Was something
Be in competition with your damn self. That's why Nintendo's winning with the Switch. That's why Sony's winning. Their studios are in competition with each other. Not, oh, we're looking over and seeing what Microsoft studios are doing, and we need to do better than them. No. I want Naughty Dog. I want to be Guerrilla Games is looking over at Naughty Dog saying, we want to do better than you.
Yeah.
That creates a healthy environment of creativity. It creates an incentive for all these studios to say, you know what, yo, we gotta get on this level where everybody can compete with each other. And look at the rewards. You're gaining new fans, you're gaining new experiences to these players. You're gaining so much more than just a game. You're going out, you're making people buy the games, and at the same time, you're creating that environment where all developers are competing one to each other so they can actually excel at making better content, because content is key. If you don't have no substance in your content, then guess what? It's just bland. It doesn't have nothing.
Carlos, back in the day, I used to run lots of offices, like manager. And, like sales offices, and I'd have my staff, 24 members of staff. There'll be like 4 managers on the floor, and we'd all have a team of staff, like 24 each. And I always encouraged my staff to compete with each other. And they made me and themselves so much money in the team. So much commitment came in because they were wanting to outdo each other. I said, don't look at the other team. Don't look at Michael's team or Paul's team. That's my competition. Let me worry about them, those other managers. But you as a team, you compete with each other. And that's how you get results. Otherwise, you're going to be lazy. You won't even want to dial the number on the phone. You don't even want to talk to the client. You just get lazy.
Good point. Good point. Got Super Chat from El Matador. He says Sony better Sony better gave Lost Souls a side date, or better give the Lost Souls a side date. Appreciate you, Matador. And yeah, I agree. We'll get that.
Can I just recommend to anyone in this chat who has a Nintendo Switch, who even gives a little bit of a damn about Marvel, you will love Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, because it reminds me, I don't know if you guys, I don't know how old you are, but I grew up in the 90s watching the X-Men cartoons and Spider-Man and his amazing friends. All of those Marvel cartoons, for me, they were best back in the late 80s and 90s. They were the best, right?
Yeah. I mean, those are the golden years for Marvel.
Right. This is what this game art style is. It's like those Saturday morning X-Men cartoons. It's brilliant. I love it, man. I love it. It's not perfect, but it's excellent. Like, I don't know why people are saying it looks like a Gauntlet style camera angle. I don't know what camera angle they're using.
Because it's a handheld and they must complain.
My camera angle's close to behind me, like any third person game. I think you can change the angle so that it's high up and it looks like you're looking down. I don't like that view.
Yeah, I think that's what they did in the videos, so that way they could show all the characters. So I think
I don't like that view. It's too small, too small. I like that. I want to be in the action, so I want a close-up camera. That's the camera I'd say use, the heroic camera. That's the best camera.
All right, definitely.
Excellent game. I can't wait for this podcast to finish so I can jump back on.
Yeah, I know you're eager for that one. So it's cool, though. Looks like Marvel's really doing their thing. Spider-Man did great. Obviously, this new Marvel Alliance game is obviously going to do good. Speaking of Marvel, they announced that, yes, the new Marvel's Avengers game that we have yet to see legit gameplay of, like extended gameplay of. They said there's going to have a special edition and whatnot. And they showed off the statues. Then that was at Comic-Con. And it looks good. It looks good. But again, I'm like with everybody else. I'm waiting for the actual gameplay reveal. Let's see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they had gameplay at Comic-Con. It leaked early. I'm sure they took it down.
Oh, I gotta
look
it up then.
Yeah, it leaked real early.
You have to look at for leaks. Yeah.
People are still complaining about the way the characters look. That's but it showed Thor fighting. The AI looked terrible. But with that said,
you're talking about Crystal Dynamics version. The Avengers.
Yeah.
The Avengers.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I prefer the art style of the Switch version for some reason.
Like the comic book?
I don't know why. I mean, obviously, Square Enix one looks much better, obviously, because the graphics look way better than the Switch. But the art styles, I like the cartoony look. Like, it reminds me of the comics and the old cartoons back in the day, man.
Yeah. Well, no, they showed Thor fighting, very reminiscent of Kratos. He's throwing around the hammer, calling down lightning, and but
I don't like the voice actors. I don't like the voice actors that they've used for the Avengers, like Troy Baker.
The guy playing Hulk is actually he sounds pretty good, but the rest of them, just the complaint right now. It's not to me it's a minute complaint. Is they don't look like their counterparts in the MCU.
I don't like the actors playing they're good actors. Like Troy Baker's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Wrong, but must he be in everything?
Well, that other guy, Nolan North, I think, is in this too.
But Nolan North is in Marvel Ultimate Alliance, but I didn't know until I saw the credits.
Yeah.
Because he's playing Rocket Guy, but it don't sound like Drake. Sound nothing like Nolan North. At least change your voice.
Yeah, he does sound kind of more like Nathan when he's playing Iron Man.
Yeah.
No,
just to me, they've I mean, the gameplay looked okay. I enjoyed it as far as the transitioning from character to character. That was seamless. So, and then they teased Kamala Khan. That's Miss Marvel. That they teased that. So she may be the next character that you get. They reiterated no microtransactions. Again, we'll have to wait and see if that holds.
I hope it's good. I hope it just don't look pretty in it. Because
I don't see how they're not gonna have microtransactions. You know how many suits they're gonna try to sell and shit like that?
Well, and they did. Well, they did say you could. The people that were there said they said something about you could fix them up the way they're gonna. I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see. We have to see if they hold to that. That's why I said I'm gonna wait and see if they're gonna hold to that. But I don't know if they're gonna be able to or not. But right now, the complaint is the AI, which again, it's a beta or alpha. And the Thor was doing things, and the AI was just standing around. They weren't trying to do anything. So and he was just going to town on them. But maybe they were just in a basic alpha, or the second alpha. But to me, the transitioning was really good. So that to me is fine. I'm gonna get it as soon as it goes for pre-order. I'll be going to get it.
Okay.
So,
I just have a feeling that whenever games are based on the movie, they always come out shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish it had its own original aesthetic. It didn't have to look like the movies. You know what I'm saying? It didn't have to. Like whenever they focus too much on trying to mimic the movies, it's always a very pretty but hollow game. That's been the trend. That's been the trend recently.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree. I definitely agree there. It's definitely. Some were okay though. Like remember Spider-Man 2, the video game? It was based off the movie. Yeah, I remember that. That was okay.
That was a fluke.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because all the other Spider-Mans were quite rubbish.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2 and the Spider-Man on PS4 are the best Spider-Mans I've played. All the others were just meh.
I like Shattered Dimensions. I thought that was okay.
That
one was all right. It wasn't that bad.
Wasn't amazing, but I thought it was okay. I like the concept. I know.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So let's move on. There's a new firmware update that dropped for PlayStation, and it does everybody's favorite function: stability. So, for those just asking me about that, that's what it does. That's what it does. Let's get on to this. Sony did come out and confirm that they will indeed be at. They're going to host a lengthy PlayStation conference on August 1st. It's going to be at the China Joy. That's what's called, China Joy. So that's what they're doing.
Yeah, China Joy.
So what are y'all expecting to see from them here?
Nothing much because it's China.
You don't think nothing?
Well, lost on the side. I've been
China, isn't it?
Game for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But that's the developer for that game is Chinese. Yangbing, so that I think that's like the biggest game out of their China Hero project.
Yeah.
And that this dude put me on. It was like 3 years ago. He told me about this game.
There's too many restrictions in China. So wherever they show, like you're gonna see lots of kiddie games because China's really strict, man.
Yeah, I can see that. They had a conference a couple of days ago too, right? That was another one. That was like super early, like in our time. They had another conference, but it wasn't really nothing massive shown. I think.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I don't know. It's because it's I love Chinese people, but their laws are draconian. So I'm not expecting anything fantastic at this China.
No, y'all don't think we get any updates? PS5 related?
Oh,
nothing.
They're gonna read.
No, that ain't gonna happen.
No updates.
Games into China that we've already had.
They're gonna focus on their China Hero project. Everything that they're working on.
Good point.
And
To support Chinese developers.
It's a lot. What's that game that they remade? They remade Scalebound. What's the name of that game? Project. I can't think of the name of it. So
Project Awakening.
That's Japanese though.
Yeah.
That's Japanese though.
Oh yeah. Well, expect them. We may see some more information on that, but I agree it's about their getting into China. Henceforth, that's
they're gonna show you old games that you've already played.
Yeah,
that just been reintroduced into China because they've had content taken out to fit the Chinese laws.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's exactly why you're seeing a lot of them. A lot of the stuff that they're doing because China's market is huge.
Yeah.
So
they also confirmed that yes, they will indeed be at Gamescom and they will have a PSX as well. So
in what capacity are they going to be at Gamescom?
They're not going to have a.
I don't think it's going to be super over the top,
or is it just going to be a booth?
They're just probably going to have games out on the floor and stuff.
Yeah, it makes sense to have games on the floor. For
sure. Well, I didn't know they were going to have a PSX. That's new. I didn't know that. So
there's not. So
they're gonna have a PSX?
Yeah, they said they were about to have a PSX. I had the.
When did they say that? Who said it? When?
Is there a link?
It was either PSX.
Did they say that, or did somebody's uncle former roommate?
No, because I had the link is a PSX or I got it mixed up with Gamescom. So
I don't think they're
glad I
going
didn't
to
put that in the title.
Because Gamescom is not far off, and Sony would normally have announced things by now.
Yeah, so, good point.
Like it takes months and months to get your stuff over to Gamescom. Okay, it takes months of planning, 6 months in advance. I've heard nothing. I'm not saying they're not going to be there at all, but I in what capacity? I mean, if they're just going to show up like any member of the audience, then there's no point telling me.
Yeah. Okay.
They're not gonna have a brief or nothing.
Yeah, I'm not interested. I don't care about booths.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. Not really much here, but there was some patents that came out for the VR headset for PS4 or PS5. So they did say that it's going to be compatible and everything with PlayStation 4, and it has improved functionality with the tracking. So that's what they're talking about for the new patents for. Pretty much everything we've already speculated for VR is pretty much just being, brought up. So there's that.
Well, yeah. So, like, I just got my VR. I haven't played it yet, but I would say a couple of things. In order for this to really take off, like if the industry really wants VR to make it mainstream, one launching at $250. If they could do that, that would be great because they do. It needs to be cheaper. You know what I'm saying? Because some of the games, like I'm excited to play the games, but they're not games that like would people would drop $300, $350, $500 to play. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
They're not. It's not like you're playing the VR versions of God of War and Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? They're not the fucking big guns. Yeah, they look great, but the cost to initially buy in should be lower. So $250 as a starting point is much better than the $500 starting point. And I can understand this new technology and all that.
Right.
Number two, it needs to be less cumbersome because there is a lot of shit that this thing comes together. I'm like, God damn, there's a lot of shit. You got to take this processor. It connects 3 cables. Then you have to have a cable to the TV and an HDMI cable to the box. Then you got to use a port for the USB. And I'm like, fuck, there's a lot of... I mean, once you get it done, then it's over. But it's like... And then, you got to connect it with your headset. I mean, there's a lot of shit that makes people be like, all right, I don't want to deal with all this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think simplicity and low cost is going to really help push PSVR and stuff like that. But you know what I'm saying? I think that, Sony really needs that headset, and it needs to be simple, wireless, and a low barrier cost. And I think VR will be more acceptable to a lot of people because I think that's what's holding people back from really jumping on the train.
Yep. I won't get into VR until the unit itself is the size of a pair of Ray-Bans.
Oh shit! If you want a head unit, I was surprised how light and comfortable it is. Like it looks heavy, and I'm thinking,
right,
man, this thing's look very clunky. I mean, you look at it, like I was looking at the box and I'm holding it, I'm like, man, this thing. But when you put it on, it's very light. It's like wearing a baseball cap.
You don't get hot under there though.
No,
the right side where that connector is for me hurts my neck. So if they can come up with one that's lighter without that extension on it, it rubs my shoulder and ear. That is it's just too cumbersome. It's very good technology. It was very immersive, much more than I thought it was going to be. I played that Eve Valkyrie, and everywhere I looked, I just thought it was going to be kind of right in front of me. I had to keep my head straight. You don't have to do that. I was turning my head, and you could see other people in the room. It was weird, but it's a good technology. They're going to improve it and condense it down. I hope for me to play it. I can't.
Shout out to give up.
I was going to tell you that.
Shout out to EJ, Johnson. Shout out to Jack. Shout out to Nancy, aka Titanfall. Super chat. She blew a kiss to everybody on the panel. So shout out to Nancy. What else in here? Everybody
how many of us are here? 4 of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that kiss is worth like 50 cents each.
How about the cost of an Xbox exclusive? I'm kidding. Shout out Thankful.
No, I'm joking. Thank you. I'm sure Ryan. What's that? Add to your tally, isn't it, Ryan?
Oh God, here you go.
Keep the lights on.
Oh my god.
Oh god. Let's see here. There was a comment from a developer. I think he said that backwards compatibility will benefit the entire industry, and that it should be easier.
They resell you the game. That's why resell.
Yeah, he said that, and that he says that PS5 should be easier to optimize for, especially with the Scarlet. That doesn't surprise me. Again, we seen everything with the hardware, but going into the whole backwards compatibility thing, yeah, understandably so, because we've been resold a lot of games this generation from PS3. Literally repackaged.
Not just that, but also, I mean, like the moment these consoles went x86, they pretty much became PCs. But that's why I knew we were gonna get backwards compatibility, because you would have to put effort not to make it backwards compatible. It's an x86 architecture. It's just pretty much automatic at this point now. Going forward, unless they make a decision in the future for some new architecture, if they stick with x86, which they most likely will, because it's the easiest for the industry, because porting now has been easier than ever before. So PC, Xbox, PlayStation, all x86.
Yes,
the industry's loving what they're able to do now. That's why I never believed on that Lockhart fucking snake eye concept. It didn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense when they were advertising that Microsoft's going to release 2 SKUs at the same time, but one SKU is going to be weaker so they could reach a $299 price point. And I'm thinking developers not going to like that. They're going to look at it like, why the fuck, and then people be like, oh, but it's no different than video cards. I'm like, no, it is different because
they're stupid. These people.
I'm like, but not just that. The reason why it's different is the onus is on the user to get the best experience. It's not on the developer.
They're 2 different dev kits as well.
Yeah, the developer. Yeah,
studio that doesn't have as much money as the bigger companies. Guess what? They're going to buy the lowest kit. That's going to be the cheap Lockhart one. So that means some games are never going to take advantage of Anaconda.
Exactly. But when I was telling people, like, it's not the same, like, because they try to compare it to PC, like, oh, it's no different. You got a high-end card, mid-range, low-end card. But I'm like, yeah, but that's on the user who buys the card to get the best experience. Like, if you buy a mid-range card, you have to fix your settings to get 60 frames, not the developer.
Yep.
If you try to max out on a low-end card and your shit runs at 15 frames, that's your fault. Yep. You need to fix that. You need to adjust. You need to lower the settings, lower the graphics, tone it down so you can get them frames up. It's different on the console.
Overclock as well. You need to not overclock.
Yep, overclock the hardware.
You gotta do all that shit. But on a console, the onus is on the developer. Like if a game needs 60 frames to be playable, like Call of Duty, whatever, that's on the developer. The user is not the one responsible for that. As a console owner, you gotta make that happen. You gotta
technically they're doing it for you in the console space now. Think about it.
Yeah, you have it easier on console.
What is dynamic resolution? What is dynamic what does it
scaling
mean?
And all that? Yeah,
it means they are adjusting for you.
Exactly.
So that you can hit the frame rates.
It's
so different from you doing it manually on a PC, but the developer on console has built it into the game so it automatically adjusts so that the frame rate holds up.
Yeah. So I knew that concept was not going to happen because developers going to be like, okay, Microsoft, you want me to work on this box and give the best possible experience, but then you also want to work on this box so they could, like, what the fuck are you doing? And then I have to patch 2 different consoles. Like, no, this is stupid. Like, what are we doing? Like, developers are not going to go for that. That's probably why they nixed that. They're like, no, don't do that.
That's why the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro never got games that fully took advantage of their hardware because they were always based on the standard version.
They put minimal effort. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to put max all out effort on these platforms.
Yeah, that's why the Xbox One X
doesn't make sense. No
one's ever going to get a game that takes full advantage of that system. All you're going to get is an Xbox One game maxed out to as much resolution as possible. That's all you're going to get. You won't get more geometry. You're not going to get extras in terms of the assets and art in the game. You're just going to get the same game but more pixels.
Yeah.
Yep. Definitely.
What a waste of 6 T-flop.
Yeah, it's great. Like we said this numerous times. We said it was a waste of
But why can't you choose HD like 1080p right on the Xbox One X? Why couldn't they have made a console that you choose HD but you get better graphics. But no, you get the same graphics.
Yeah.
And will force you to have 4K.
Yeah. I don't know what to really say about the Xbox One X. I said this at the start when it first was announced. I was like, guys, it just looks like a waste of R&D. You know, all that, because now they gotta outshine the X with the the new one, the Scarlet, and all this, and it's like they put themselves in that predicament.
They should have focused on games.
Yeah,
4K.
I don't even know how much went into that console. Did they even post how much they put into the Xbox One X?
People have said it's a lot of money.
I was like, that money could have been put into those studios, and then they go, "Well, Ryan, they're doing it now," but it's like, yeah, now should have been done beforehand.
Yeah.
And there's no excuses. And then dudes go, "Oh, well, Alan Wake, why you guys like Alan Wake up?" So I was like, well, Alan Wake was good. And that was a game that a lot of people were lobbying for Xbox to come out with this generation. Did they come out with it this generation? No.
Nope.
Did they make an effort with Remedy? No.
Nope. Everything is a no go because, I mean, once again, it's just a simple basis. Nobody bought the games so sufficiently for them to even try to give a sequel. Because they saw that the sales attach rate for those games were low. So what do? You just go along with the punches. All right, we're gonna go move on to something else. We're gonna make something else happen.
Yep.
And that's where the biggest problem has been for them this gen. Just that, the incentive to buy their games, which apparently they have not given, that emotion for people to do so.
Well, I can see the future. I can see holiday 2020, my house, a new Switch, a new PlayStation, and a PC.
Oh God!
Before we wrap this up, let's talk about that a little bit in extensive. Now I know we talked about on the Gamer Couch the Switch, the newer one. How does everybody feel about the new Switch, like the new portable only one, or strictly?
I don't
care less about it, to be honest.
You care less about it?
It's
Okay. I know you said you're not
I
buying it because you
want
like the one that can just the traditional one because you can put it on the TV. But
I like the idea of having the option of portable and TV. But if it was just portable, I wouldn't be interested in Switch.
Okay. Yeah. Well, again, I saw it, right, and I'm looking at it just like their attempt to get to the basically have the 3DS again. That's how I look at it as, but it's been so long.
I don't think I could play Zelda. 275 hours I've played it on portable, like full time. I don't think I could do that. I think I only put so much time into the game because I could sit in front of the TV with my controller. I couldn't stare at a screen. I just can't. I mean, I was never into Vita, never into 3DS or the DS, none of them. Game Boy, none of them. I'm not a portable guy. I only own the Switch, or I only support the Switch, I should say, because it docks. If it was just a portable console, I'm not sure I'd be disinterested in it. And I'd be missing out on some amazing games, but I just can't be staring at a small screen like permanently. And I like big screen as well.
All right.
You know what I think what this really did? It gave Nintendo a reason not to drop the price of the Switch. Because you think about it, this is a revision, and the Switch is only 2 years old. It just turned 2 last March.
Yeah, and they're talking about a Pro.
So this is the first time I seen a revision come out before a price drop. Like the Switch officially hasn't dropped price yet.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got this revision that's $200, right? So they have no reason to drop the price of the actual Switch, because that's what I'm interested in actual Switch, because just like Foxy, I'm not interested in portable gaming. I didn't care about Vita. I had the Vita. I had the DS. I'm just not a mobile guy. I don't like playing on a 5-inch screen. I don't really care. I just don't get it. I want a TV screen, and I'm good.
It's nice to have the option, like, let me play this for 20 minutes before I go to bed. Bed. Yeah. That's nice. But I don't want to play all my games that way. No way.
So they took away. You think it takes away from the Switch at all with them having this on the market?
No, what it is, it keeps the Switch at $300.
Well, yeah, true that. Yeah, but
if you want to pay $200, they'll just tell you, go get the Switch Lite then. If you don't want to pay. But it's not the same though. Like
didn't upgrade to the Switch, so this will be perfect for them.
Yeah, but it's not the same because I want to play it as a console. I have no intention of undocking it. When I get the Switch, I'm putting a dock, connected to TV. That's it. It's staying there. I'm gonna get a Pro controller, hard drive. That's it. It's a console. I'm gonna treat it 100% like a console.
I'm buying that new revision, though. Not the Switch Lite. I'm buying the new Switch.
Oh, okay. You buying the new one?
I'm gonna trade in my current Switch for the new one.
What new Switch? Like
he's talking about the Pro. There's like talks of a Pro version going on.
Real though?
No. I'm not talking about no Pro, man. I would have said Pro if I was talking about Pro, nigga.
Oh.
Don't believe my
real though? Is that actually happening? I don't think that's happening.
No. I'm talking about the Switch revision in August.
Oh, what's the revision for the Switch?
There's two new ones. There's the light one.
Oh, I saw the. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
And then there's the other one that does 9 hours. But I'm not getting it for the battery. I'm getting it because it's new. My warranty's gone on my Switch. It went.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So you refresh it, you get a refresh warranty.
Yeah. So and I'm getting a more stable system. It's more efficient. So it shouldn't get as hot in the dock because my Switch does get hot. Sometimes when I play it and I take it out of the dock.
Yeah.
I feel like, wow, the back is hot, man. I'm thinking, damn, no wonder people's Switches are warping.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So I can get 200 for that Switch, right? That's the trade-in value, 200. And the new revision, I'll have to pay £99 more. I don't mind doing that.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Anything else you guys want to bring up and talk about?
Nah, I'm about to head out, man. There's almost one over here.
Yeah, pretty much covered everything.
A lot of news coming out of Comic-Con.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That It trailer, though, the new It trailer looks lit.
Yeah, the Witcher
I'm hyped. I'm hyped for that. Looks great. So that's gonna be a great movie. But yeah, a lot coming out of Comic-Con, so expect a lot more news this week, guys. I want to say shout out to everybody in the chat who came through. Thank you guys so much for rocking out with us here for episode 69, the RGD podcast. Hit that like button and a massive shout out and thank you to our special guest. Even though he's in a different time zone, he still came through. My brother Porter Rock. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for coming through.
Yeah, me and Foxy are feeling the pain right now.
Yeah, they over there. So shout out to both of Foxy and Porter Rock for this one.
Wait, where are you, Porter?
I'm in Germany.
Oh, so you're hold on a minute. Wait, you live in Germany now?
Yeah, I'm stationed in Germany. Yeah.
So you're an hour even ahead of me.
Yeah, so I'm an hour ahead of you. Yeah.
So it's like 1:45 for you then.
Yeah, it's almost it's 12:45.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Well, shout out to both of y'all. I know y'all got those crazy time zones, but I do appreciate y'all coming through as always, man. Much love to y'all and everybody else in the chat. Hit that like button. We're going to go ahead and sign on out. Shout out to Craig, Nancy in the chat, and of course, Carlos. I'm going to let everybody do their outros and we'll shut it down. Go ahead, Porter Rock. You have the floor.
Hey, what's up, people? It's your only friend in these YouTube streets. Thank you for the invite. And I'm tired. I'm rocking. I'm falling asleep here. I'm hurt. Long day at work, played some games. But anyway, you guys have a great day, man. Enjoy your weekend. And at the end of the day, keep it gaming. You know, that's it, man. Don't let the shit talking get you. It's just plastic and companies. At the end of the day, when you log on for Twitter, just enjoy the games. Amen. That's it. Don't pay attention to anything else. Play the games.
Absolutely. Mr. Fox, go ahead, brother.
Oh, I'll keep it simple. Play games, not corporations.
All right. Carlos?
Oh, I'm here. Nah, hey man, like always, a great time with you and the panel members and Gamer by Choice, not by trend. We out.
All right, and Craig.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for the vine. Special shout out to the chat. Hit that like button. Sub to all these gentlemen to get real good information and play the games or the terrorists win.
Oh God!
Oh God! This is Big Cloud Gaming. You'll see me Sunday as always with Foxy on the Gamer Couch podcast, and I'll see you guys later for obviously the next show. But y'all be blessed, y'all be easy. Once again, shout out to everybody, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Later.
Marvel over the Lions 3, baby. Let's go.
He had to throw that in there. But we out.